Hey guys, what's going on? It's Darrell Addison at torpedopont.com. Darrell Addison at torpedopont.com. And yes, we prune during the wintertime. Sounds odd, doesn't it? It's cold out, it's freezing cold out. Darrell, what are you doing outside? Well, you know, during the summertime, in this planter, as you can see here, we grew 27 tomatoes in this same planter. Okay? And we also grew nasturtium with the beautiful flowers of red and fuchsia and purple, and all of those grew, and we ate those as flowers. And the celery we planted maybe about 6-7 months ago, and it grew into a stalk that was about, I would say, maybe 2.5 feet tall. And so now what I want to do, I want to go out and I want to clean all this stuff out. It produced a lot of food. And so I know the root system must be like totally entangled. I mean, but it's doing its great job. It's fighting back in the wintertime. So I wanted to pull some of this debris out so we can, look a little closely and see what's inside this planter, because it did a tremendous job on its own. I hit it with 3-12-12, maybe about on average once every 10 days, I would say. Initially it was once every week, and then after that I just said forget it, because most of the tomatoes were done anyhow. Because I was really doing it for the tomatoes. But the celery is a bonus, and the nasturtium was truly a bonus because I used those in salads and stuff like that. So, all right, let's cut this up and see if it makes any sense to go through this. And so normally you should be able to pull your plants out, but these are well developed and entrenched plants right now. So we're gonna go and first take the major limbs off. These are the tomatoes they produced. Those go directly in our compost bin, so we don't have to use them. Look at them as discard, but they really are essential nutrients for other living organisms. And then we just go along the base, start cutting it off. And the pot will show. As you can see, this pot right now is about maybe 2 to 3 years old. And every year we come and we add more plants to it. And so it's constantly feeding in that environment that we created for it. Now, I didn't want to cut off the limbs of the celery too early, because I wanted you to see what it looks like in an oasis all by itself once everything is removed. Spin your pot around. You can see it was pretty much embedded with the other growing environment with the hedges that were here. Let me cut some of this dead off. We don't need this. Okay. All right. So under, I would say, unbelievable conditions, this planter has done exceptionally well. I have nothing but supreme words to say about it, because it required no oversight on my behalf. I don't have to do anything. I just set it, and for these, I just forget it. I don't do anything. Oh, I do the fertilization. I did that once every, I would say, about 10 days, once every 10 days on the average. Beginning I did because I love my tomatoes, and I only fertilize to get the fruiting. I don't fertilize necessarily for the nitrogen. I do a 3-12-12 when I'm doing heavy growing like this, and I'm not even religious about it. Sometimes, some weeks I forget about it. That's what I'm saying, an average of 10 days, but 7 to 10 days. But these rarely I don't do anything to. And they take off on their own. So right now we know that we have a lot of this celery. So we're gonna start taking off the ones that are yellow looking, that have been hit mostly by the frost. And the ones you want to use in your soups, go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and take that off. Now, the reason why I'm being cautious about taking so much off of here, because see, I have other planters that are growing the same amount of celery, as you'll see further down later on. And so I don't feel a need to have to come and save a lot of it, because it seems like I got relative amount to use what I need to do. As long as I got healthy food, that's important to me. It's access to healthy food. And so I'm going to snip this. The wind has compromised a lot of limbs here, and this is a perfectly good limb that will go in, and that will go right inside of my my soup. Isn't that beautiful? Can you see the beauty off of that? Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. Yeah, that goes in my food. That's a candidate for a good meal. So I'll clean this off to the side. Well, I got a bag here. Let's put it in this bag. And some of those also are great candidates for a good meal. Like I said, but because I have so much at this point, I don't need to save everything. I can just be very discreet about what I want to save and what I don't want to save. Just put that in there. Ah, this blend is tough. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Down for a minute. And proceed to do some other stuff. So I got some roots in here from the tomato plant. I'm gonna just, if I can't pull it out, I'm not gonna do much. I'm just gonna cut it down the sides. Nice bark too, nice solid bark. I go right in the compost bin, does really great. So I'm just gonna spin this around and I'm gonna liberally start making cuts off of this. And yes, it's cold out and my planters are still running, that's correct. If I wanted to, I'd go cut them off. Those who have timers that are inside your house, you're in the best condition in the world. Those who have outside timers, remove them, get rid of them, take them off. Those timers will crack if they ice up. What I did is I removed those timers and put on a little nipple, and I manually water when I want to. But more importantly, cut off the pipes in your house going outside when you're not watering. You don't want them to freeze. It's very important. You must insulate those pipes if you have them outside. Yeah, so I'm gonna go and cutting this off. Yeah, so I think it's looking okay, not too bad. You know, I need to make room for the young ones. They need to come along. So the big stalks, they're tough. I eat the mid-sized stalks in a lot of my these tomato plants. See how they came out here? Man, powerful, powerful tomato plants. They grew up, these are the tomato plants. And they grew up in the hedges. Just took over everything. Yeah, they sure did. Had a lot of tomatoes. Like I said, we had about 27 tomatoes, no less than 27 tomatoes from each one of these planters. And it was great. It was like really great. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. We're trying to get as much out of this stuff. That's beautiful. Look at that. Now, isn't that gorgeous? That is absolutely stunning. Oh my gosh, look at this. What a little can turn into a lot. So now, they've got their own environment. They're getting more sunlight, and I still want to thin this up even more, but I'll thin it up like that. Make it more bush itself out. A lot of new ones that are coming up now. Amazingly, out of all that you see here, there's only 2 celery plants in here, and they've taken over, and they've been doing fantastic. This torpedo pod is so faithful. Now understand how faithful it is, that as long as you have running water in your system, running water prevents water from freezing and standing still from freezing, okay? So when you have your inside timer pushing water outside on a regular basis, just a little bit for those plants, you help prevent freezing. Now I know it sounds a little counterintuitive, but I'm saying that our systems are well designed to be outside and the temperatures that maybe you would like to have it, where that you have no other choice. And this is what our system can do here. Darrell Addison, torpedopark.com. I've got a couple more of these I want to do, but I do want to get around to it, and I'll start it with you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.